Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Well, speaking of the Midnight Creatives Collective and Terminus and events, big show coming up there October 19th that we've been talking about a lot. And we've got Dennis and Sean from the band The Gray Curtain. Welcome, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Oh, why can't I hear you?
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Found you. All right, very good.
Always the bass player.
Oh, I lost. I think
It's always the bass player.
I lost you again.
Really?
Well, wait.
So,
Is there a gremlin in the microphone?
There might be.
There's a
Oh,
gremlin
my.
in the microphone.
This is weird.
Oh, I was just
Want to
watching
watch
that
me
movie.
stand up again?
I found you again.
Which
Hello.
one, though?
The first one.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm not going to touch anything else, and hopefully we don't lose you again.
All right.
It's funny. I said that mic never fails us, and then I have a problem with it. That's funny. Anyway, wow, live radio.
You jinxed it.
I know. Apparently, I did. Jenny warns me about that too. She's like, "Don't."
See?
She says, "Don't jinx it." And then I
This
jinxed
is your fault.
it. It is. It is.
Oh.
That's
I'm
fine.
going to remind you the rest of the day. Told you not to go there.
Well, guys, welcome. I'm looking forward to talking to you, and we're going to play some of your tracks too. But yeah, tell us about your band, The Gray Curtain.
I started the band in 2014. Basically, I put out a couple of songs, just me and an acoustic guitar, and there was a Battle of the Bands, online Battle of the Bands over at Foxwoods, and I ended up placing fourth out of like 189 bands,
Yeah.
which was just mind-boggling to
So
me.
it was you just had to submit your music. and-
That's all I did.
Okay.
And so they called me up and said, "Yeah, we're going to do a live Battle of the Bands over at Foxwoods, in a couple of weeks. We'll see you and your band there."
Yeah.
I hung up the phone all excited, and then I went, "Wait, I need a band." So,
oh my God.
yeah. So it took a few days to get a few guys in on the project. Unfortunately, everyone that was part of the band at that point have all come and gone. Done. Gone on to do their own things. Sean has been a close friend of the band for many years, doing his own band, Inman.
Okay.
But recently, over the last 2 years or so, I've needed new bandmates, and Sean was the first person I called. And we're actually currently looking for a keyboard player, synth player, but we're trying out drummers currently because, as you mentioned, the Terminus show on the 19th, we're going to be saying goodbye to the drummer we currently have, Joe Zaffarano.
Okay.
Mainly because he's just in way too many projects. He's he's in the Negans, who are going to be playing the show with us.
Yep.
He's in Guello. I think I can't remember if he's full-time or part-time with Rags to Stitches. But he's in a lot of other projects, and with the amount of shows that we're planning on doing, it was better if he bowed out.
It's funny because that comes up. This subject specifically comes up all the time on the show. Every drummer is in like 10 different bands.
They got to be.
Yeah.
They're a rare resource in this area right now.
Well,
So-
my theory is, and longtime listeners have heard me say this 1,000 times, but when you're growing up and you first become interested in playing a musical instrument, you go to have the conversation with your parents
Yep.
about what you're going to play.
Yeah,
If it's
not
the
drums.
if it's the drums or the tuba, they're going to try to talk you out of it.
oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
So that's my theory, because every drummer is in 10 different bands.
Yeah,
It's,
my dad was a drummer, so it's he knows what it's like to stretch himself thin in multiple projects.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the band was started by me just I started writing stories and basing my music around these stories.
Yeah.
Henry Miller said the best way to get over a woman is to turn her into literature. So I did that with all my hurts, habits, hang-ups, all my bullies, all my traumas,
Yep.
PTSD, my depression, my nightmares, my addictions, and made all of these feelings, all of these past characters and whatnot in my life into citizens of this cursed town that can't leave. And all of our music is based around the people and events that happen in this town.
Okay. Yeah, something we talk about a lot on the show. It comes up quite a bit. In fact, it came up with Dan from the band Horror in the last hour is talking about, taking problems and doing something creative with them.
Yeah.
Whether it be, and I get, I'm someone who struggles with depression, so I can certainly relate to that aspect of it. But taking, whether it's that, whether it's some sort of trauma, whatever it is, taking these things that happen to us, but then doing something creative with them, actually making something out of them that other people can then relate to and enjoy. I think that's the best therapy that there is, really.
That's exactly what I say.
Yeah.
Whenever I get off stage, people will approach me and tell me how, my songs are helping them in some way through their depression. And we played a show in Maine recently, and a young woman, I won't go into details on her name or anything, but a young woman approached me and told me how she had been thinking about ending her life, and she felt very attached to a couple of our songs and made her feel better.
Really?
Wow. That is basically the key element of what I try to do. I try to help people who feel like I feel, think how I think, feel better, and try to make it through the day just a little easier each day.
Yeah.
So I say it all the time. It's like, this is the best form of therapy there is. Absolutely.
Was that your goal from the beginning, or did it kind of become that?
The Gray Curtain, yes. I've been in 14 bands, and
Wow.
yeah. Well,
wait, do you also play drums? Is that why?
I play percussions, but not as well as past members of this band.
Yeah.
I play bass, but not as well as past members of this band and present members of this band. But no, I come from a long line of musicians. All of my Uncle Smokey used to play in his own band, Smokey and the Rangers, in the Irish Club in Putnam. It's no longer there. But he got me on stage at 5 years old singing Frosty the Snowman at a Christmas event. And I got hooked ever since, chamber choir, church choir, school chorus, state competitions, voice lessons. Just give me all of it.
Yeah.
And, growing up in high school, as I mentioned, I was a victim of a lot of bullying and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was told that my singing wasn't good enough to be in a band.
Really?
So I started playing bass. My Uncle Bob taught me some basics, and once I got those down, he was like, "You ready to go? Just do your thing."
Yeah.
Because he was playing country, and I'm trying to do like Les Claypool stuff, And
Yeah.
so he was just like, "You're good. You're good. Just keep doing what you're doing." So I basically
Who told you weren't good enough to sing? Was it a teacher or who?
No. My teachers. So shout out to Michael Adam Kearns. He kept pushing me.
Oh, okay.
I would, I was like tormented so much in school. I would take my lunch into the chorus room and just sit by myself.
Really?
Oh yeah. Believe me, I could sit here for hours telling you about this stuff, but no, it was my peers.
Okay.
Kids that would.
It was part. It sounds like it was part of the bullying.
It really was.
Yeah.
But from that, I gotta say, if it wasn't for those experiences, I don't think I'm sitting here now talking to you about this.
Right.
Because a lot of the characters are based on things like that.
Okay.
Being told that I wasn't good enough, being told that my sound wasn't metal. It's like, okay, even now we're nominated for a New England Music Award for best hard rock and metal, and I'm still getting from my peers that we're not a metal band. We shouldn't be. And it's like, you know what? You're right. We're not a metal band. You know,
Yeah.
we like to do a little bit of metal. We like to do a little bit of rock. We like to do a little bit of jazz. We like to do a little bit of swing. You know,
Yeah.
it basically depends on the character in the story that song pertains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really difficult because you want people to be connected, and you want people to help each other, especially in this scene, you know, between all the states in New England. But it's really tough sometimes because it doesn't feel like that's the case in a lot of instances. But
Well, you're doing something unique too. I mean, you know, I can't think of anyone who sounds quite like you guys, which is awesome, which I love. And I'm curious, Sean, is this the most unique project you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, probably. I would have to say so. You know, I've been like he mentioned before. I was in a band, Inman, before. That was kind of more of a, you know, a straightforward, modernized grunge band. Where I feel like the stuff we're playing in this is definitely a little more difficult to, like you said, find someone who sounds quite like it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of different influences that go into the sound. So it's really easy to have a lot of fun with it. You know, it's definitely doesn't get redundant at any point.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we should play something. Now, what should, because you had suggested in your email a few songs. Is there one that you're pushing as a single?
well, the first album, Shadow of a Man, a lot of people like the opening.
Yeah.
The second album, we didn't get a chance to really play all that much before the mass outing of the members I had.
Right.
So we could do the title track from that album then.
Oh, the Florist? Yeah, the Florist.
That was one of
Yeah.
the ones you had suggested. Yeah.
Yeah, the Florist.
I think. Oh no, that wasn't one of. Oh no, that was. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? In my mind, I'm conflating the album with the song.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll let's go with that. Yeah, I really like this one a lot, and then we'll talk about it a little bit after. But
Great.
so yeah, let's give this a spin. This is really interesting. Check this out. The Gray Curtain, and the song is called "The Florist." That is The Florist, the Gray Curtain, here with us in studio. We've got a couple of the guys from the band here with us, and wow, that's a great song. And now we've got the Gray Curtain here, and what can you tell us about that song?
Well, the song and the album are based around a elderly florist from the town of Apathy. All of the Gray Curtain albums are going to be based around citizens of the town of Apathy.
Okay.
The character in question is a man named Serge Collin. He loses his wife to cancer, and he develops. He finds this plant in the basement of his now dilapidated flower shop. He sells everything to try to get his wife some treatment.
Yeah.
And she ends up passing away anyway. And he goes down to the basement of this flower shop and finds this. This plant actually exists in real life. It's called a devil's trumpet.
Okay.
And he gets the oil of the plant ingested into his body, and when that happens, again, IRL, in real life, you hallucinate. You see like nightmares in real life, and it
Oh, wow.
it hurts your ability to breathe. It hurts your ability to function.
I think I've actually heard of this.
And he ends up hearing the voice of his dead wife telling him that if he plants the women of the town into the ground like seeds, she will blossom like a flower from the earth, and they will be together again.
Okay.
And the entire album is about his quest to get his wife back by doing this. It's one for the kids.
Yeah. Now this and is this also being written as a full story?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm currently working on a series of graphic novels.
Oh, no kidding.
It's taking me forever to do because at first I was doing it on paper, just pencil drawings and whatnot, and I was able to get like 4 comics done.
Yeah.
But now I'm doing everything again on tablet, and I'm investing a lot in getting the color schemes and things like that. And then on top of that, I'm working with my partner April on getting a script for the entire 20-chapter storyline of the town of Apathy finished, and possibly, if we can, get it picked up to make it an actual show.
Wow.
Yeah, we're about, April, what are we, 208 pages in.
Okay.
Yeah.
208 of, how much do you think it'll end up being?
We
Any idea?
315 pages, I think, is what we're going to stop at, because then we've got about 9 episodes.
Okay, so you figure you're about 2/3 of the way.
Yeah,
into
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. No, that's great though. That's a great undertaking.
Yeah, and the florist storyline is part of that script, and I've already got excuse me, about 20, 30 pages or so of the graphic novel for The Florist and Shadow of a Man, the first album completed.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious to ask you about that too, because we're going to play. I like this track, the opening, that we'll play in a couple of minutes. But I'm curious about Shadow of a Man, and does this also have like The Florist? Does this also kind of have its own story? Or?
Oh, they all do.
Yeah.
Shadow of a Man is more autobiographical. However, in 2012, I went through a downward spiral where I attempted suicide. I was caught, but I based Shadow of a Man on what happened to me during that time. I lost the love of my life. She is currently not speaking to me because of the man that I was back then.
Okay.
Rightfully so. And I based the character Nathan Noth on me. His name originally was going to be Noth Guile, but I thought that was a little on the nose because that's my last name backwards.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But yeah, the album takes place in the last day and a half of Nathan's life.
Okay. All right. What should we know about this song? I'm going to play the opening. Anything we should know about this specifically?
The opening takes place. Well, I wrote the opening before I even had like an idea of like the storyline or anything like that, it was basically my my acceptance that I have a rare form of cancer, and I know that my timeline is not as long as a lot of other people. So I wrote the opening as a way to kind of come to terms with seeing the light and knowing that as much as I fight, one day this is going to end. So I have to enjoy what I have while I have it.
Okay.
And the opening, as far as the storyline, takes place right around the end of the story where Nathan is accepting death.
Okay. All right. So let's give this a listen. This is song's called The Opening. This is from the album Shadow of a Man by The Grey Curtain. Wow, that is the opening from the album Shadow of a Man by The Gray Curtain. And we have Dennis and Sean from The Gray Curtain here with us live in studio this morning. And wow, that's pretty epic. As we're listening to that, Dennis, I'm curious to know more about your singing and where do you take influences from in terms of your vocal approach?
Ooh. Well, growing up, I was kind of bombarded with old school country, No Show Jones, Patsy Cline, Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
So thus a lot of my lyrical content is sad by nature, as theirs were. But then as I got older, I started finding my own influences in soul music and jazz and blues. And then as I became a teenager, I started listening to metal more often. But really, I started getting into the kind of stuff that I'm doing currently because of things like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Meatloaf, I was enamored. I wanted to know everything there was to know about this guy, from Bat Out of Hell 1, 2, even 3.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
a lot of people don't talk about 3, but that's a good album. I enjoy musicians who wear their heart on their sleeve when they're on stage, or just when they're writing a song. They're trying to not so much make you dance or make you feel happy or anything. They're trying to invoke an emotion.
Yeah.
Former band member of the Gray Curtain actually got me into Steven Wilson from Porcupine Tree, which is one of Sean's favorite bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I saw Steven Wilson perform, he did this song called Routine, and I could actually feel my heart get just ripped out of my chest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't go to a show, wanting that, but I
Right,
do.
right.
I want to feel an experience when I go to a show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and that's where where I take a lot of my influence from. Seeing Rent on Broadway, and then the very next day going to see Metallica play at Woodstock '99. It's basically like those two things are what makes the Gray Curtain.
Yeah.
That heavy edge with the emotional baggage.
Yep. Yep. Did your approach change at all between these two albums? I mean, obviously they have different themes to them, but
Well, my old band members did all the recording, did all the mixing. So all of the what's the word I'm looking for? All of the kudos goes to them for the way that these albums sound, as far as production. But as far as approach, the first album, we basically went into it like we need to get this sound out there. A lot of people are asking for some sort of hard copy. And by the time we got to the second album, nobody listens to a hard copy anymore, So we only got maybe like 50 copies of the second album, and we were like throwing them around at people.
Yeah.
A lot of people just listen to our streaming
Sure.
nowadays.
Sure.
But the approach was basically just like with the characters. The first album was very melodramatic, very dark, very Edgar Allan Poe. The second is very horror movie. It's very John Carpenter. It's very Stephen King. And that's what we try to do. As far as like what I try to do when I'm developing a story. The one that we're currently working on is about two killers, and they both have two lists that they have to complete. The main the main antagonist of the story basically allows one of them to go free of this town that no one in the town can escape. And the first killer that can complete their list of 10 is allowed to leave the town, no strings attached. So we're able to take from that brief description of the storyline and go, okay, well, what kind of album is this going to be?
Yeah.
What kind of songs are we going to put together for this? And this is going to be more of like a action type of, I don't want to say gory type of thing, but a lot more intense
Okay.
album than the other two.
Okay. Okay. Will you be recording? Well, where did you record the newest one? The one?
In my former drummer's house.
Okay.
He had a recording studio in the basement of his house.
Yeah.
And we mixed in the sunroom, like a sun porch.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did the entire album there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole thing was homemade.
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
We didn't have to go to a studio. Obviously, with this next batch of songs, not going to be the case.
Right.
But and the worst part too is like I still love those guys.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for everybody, every single person that has helped me along through this ride, present and past, has made this band better.
Yeah.
So I will never say a ill word towards any member that was. We were just talking during the opening of past members, people that I wish were still in this band.
Yeah.
People that I understand why they left. But as far as where we're gonna go, as far as like recording in the future, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We obviously gonna have to go to a studio.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you've got plenty of options. That's the good news.
yeah. I keep hearing people tell me, oh, you should go here, you should go here, you should go here. But right now we're still in I think we've only got like 7 songs, and I want this thing to be, it's kind of a moot thing to say nowadays with physical copies being, the thing of the past, I guess, which makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, a lot of our guests are still putting out, physical copies of CDs, but I think my theory though is I think most of those never actually get played. It's just if you're really a fan of somebody, it's nice. Same thing with vinyl.
Yeah.
I mean, vinyl. I think now vinyl is outselling CDs.
I think it is too. Yeah.
But if you buy somebody's vinyl, a brand new vinyl in the package, it probably, most people I'm sure never even open it.
Yeah.
It's because they're such a big fan of that artist. It's cool to have the vinyl.
Yep. Absolutely.
And kind of collect it. But
Yeah. You explained it a lot better than I did. Where it's like, yeah, people are still collecting it. I still have CDs. I still have tapes.
Yeah.
One of our main crew guys, his name's Foley. Shout out to Foley. His wall is nothing but cassette tapes. He's got vinyl for days.
Yeah.
And it's just like what you said. If you appreciate it, then you will buy it.
yeah.
But what we're trying to, what I'm hoping to pitch, and what the guys hopefully will go along with, is a double album.
Really? Okay.
One album's worth of material for each killer. And,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can get that out there, I don't know, within the next couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a great concept. I can relate to what you were saying about Meatloaf, by the way, because I was such a big fan growing up. I actually have his I did. I don't know where they are now. I don't really keep any. Speaking of physical copies, I really don't keep physical copies of anything anymore. But I always bought his non-Bat Out of Hell albums too. Like Blind Before I Stop and what's the I can't even remember the titles now. It's been so long. But yeah, I actually that's a friend of mine joked with me once because I had all these obscure albums of Meatloaf that nobody else cared about because they didn't have Bat Out of Hell in the title. And a friend of mine said, he probably knows you. Like he probably knows who you are because you're the one guy who actually bought these other CDs. Like if you ever met him, he'd be like, "Hey, I know you. I heard about you. They told me you were real, but I didn't think you were." Eleanor in the chat room says CDs are totally in. We still use super dupes in Salem, New Hampshire. Shout out to Bruce Bannett. Oh, there you go. So yeah, so there's an option for you if you decide to Yeah, Spelfie was saying too. She still buys CDs.
Oh yeah, and I knew like the way that I worded it, we were probably going to get people going. Hey, wait a second! I'm not saying that CDs aren't awesome. I'm just saying that it just seems like people don't really buy them anymore. Like when we go to play shows, a lot of people will ask, "Oh, are you guys on Spotify? Are you guys on Apple?"
Well, that's the
Music?"
most important thing, to be on the streaming platforms. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
But don't get me wrong. Every show we play, we have copies of The Florist. We have copies of Shadow of a Man. We have the T-shirts. We have, Grey Curtain, the Flamethrower. Kids love that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bet Eleanor's excited to see that at Terminus. just kidding.
Yeah, we're not bringing pyro.
Actually, well, you know what? They survived green Jello, so.
Oh, yeah. That's a mess.
I was there on Tuesday of this week for a meeting with Eleanor, and I asked her, because actually Jenny's the one who kind of put that ball in motion as far as booking green Jello there. But I asked
They asked me for a venue.
Yeah. Because we when they were in town, we had them on the show, and but I asked Eleanor. I said, "Did anything get broken that night?" I was just curious, but I apparently nothing did. So early's nothing important, so that's good. But yeah, that was a hell of a night. But yeah, that's cool. We should remind people, of course, October 19th, you're going to be there.
Yep, absolutely.
At Terminus. Also with we had Able Blood in the first hour. They're going to be there, and Horror is also going to be there at that show. Who was here with us in the second hour. Also, do you still have it in front of you, Jenny? I'm kind of doing this from memory. Dead Harrison, of course, will be there October 19th.
They will, yes.
The Negans.
Yeah,
and,
Joe from the Negans is going to be playing double duty with us and the Negans.
Oh, very cool.
It's going to be his last show with us, unfortunately.
And they're going to have a haunted house.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, here we go. I find it. Oh, Questing Beast. That's who I was forgetting. I love that name, Questing Beast. I just think that's a cool name. So that's going to be a big night. October 19th at Terminus in Nashua. So, and of course, we'll definitely be reminding you all of that as it gets closer. But guys, we are. I want to get one more song in, and it's a long one. So we will. We'll begin to wrap up, but what should people know about where to follow you guys online, how to keep up with everything that you're doing?
Basically, we're on Facebook. Basically, type in The Grey Curtain. It'll either show you pictures of curtains or it'll show you us. But yeah, we're on Spotify, Apple Music. We're on Bandcamp. We're on YouTube. Just type in The Grey Curtain and it'll take you to one of our pages. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, all of the streamings, all of the social medias.
Yeah, very good. Oh, and we should tell people too, it is Grey.
Yeah, a lot of people get that confused too. Yeah, Grey. The old English.
Yes. Does the name ever get spelled wrong?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Does it?
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I work for Meals on Wheels, and like people find out that I'm in a band. They're like typing it in. They're like, "Oh, we can't find you." I'm like, "Oh, it's E."
Yeah.
EY.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you guys so much. We are going to play one more track to close out in just a moment. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. And Jenny, you want to plug your website?
Absolutely. You can go to jencoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com. Check out the blog, and you can find my report on the White House Medical Debt event, as well as information on Spellbound, the next Mosaic Art Collective show. Yes.
Very good. So we'll close out with this song. Like I said, it's a long one, but this Clip the Stitch from the album The Florist by The Grey Curtain. And what should we know about this before we play it?
This takes place in the part of the story where Serge, the florist, starts seeing and hearing his dead wife telling him what he needs to do to get her back.
Okay. All right, very good. So we're going to close out with this, Clip the Stitch. The band is The Grey Curtain. And thanks, everybody. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later.
in this life. Heal the wound that isn't real. Well, I think it's kind of funny how I fall behind and yet remain completely still. I'll clip the stitch, relieve me of these stresses in this life. I'll heal the wound that isn't real. All of my past mistakes, I'm begging to be